welcome to another video! Today I am in a fantastic mood for one because I actually have a wrap up to bring you that is substantial in size. Substantial enough that this video isn't a wrap up and TBR, but is just my wrap up and currently readings. Because I've read enough to make a substantial video on that. Yay! It's been a good reading month. June was a really good reading month for me. I feel like I had a successful time. And I really hope that carries over into July. I am filming this a little ways into July. It is the 3rd today. I don't know when I'm going to actually edit this and upload this. Hopefully soon, because June is over. But I haven't finished anything in July yet, so everything that I finished, I did finish in June. And my currently readings have been between months. So yeah. Anyway, let's dive in with the first book that I finished in June. I honestly think I deserve a little bit of a pat on the back for this one because it took me long enough. And in my last wrap up and TBR, I said that I would definitely do it, and I did. Dark Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. I have finished it. Yeah! This book was treated unfairly by me because I was reading it and then ACOWAR came out, so I put it down and read ACOWAR and then tried to pick it back up again when I was in hardcore ACOWAR slump and all I wanted to do was reread the series. So I reread them. Not all of them. I reread ACOTAR and then this was much more appealing. After kind of getting myself out of that Prithian slump I was in, this was much more appealing. I really did enjoy it when I got back into it. It was just that I put myself in an awkward situation where I didn't want to read it, but I was in the middle of it, so I didn't want to put it down and not pick it back up again. So I kind of treated it a bit unfairly, but I finished it and I loved it. The only issue I had with this was pacing. I mean, it's got really small chapters, and the book is also divided into parts, so there's like 5 chapters to a part, and typically I would be totally into that because it would mean that I would read it quicker because I'd be like, oh, there's only 2 more pages till the next chapter, and there's only 2 chapters till the next part, and the next part's only 3 chapters long, so you know what I mean? Like, because it's cut up into tiny segments, typically that would make me read it faster. It had the complete opposite effect for me this time. Because it was separated so much, I found it very easy to put it down because there were so many breaks where I could say, okay, I've got to the end of that chapter, now I can go and do something. I found myself putting it down a lot more regularly. I think it was mainly just the mood I was in and no fault of the book, because when I got back into it I loved it and I did finish it quite quickly when I got back in the mood. So yeah. Mood is the problem, not the book, but I did thoroughly enjoy it and I did give it 4 out of 5 stars, only losing a star there because of my pacing issues that I personally had. I feel like if I read it again at a better time, I would love it more. The next book that I read in June is one that has been staring at me from my shelf and I have been very eager to pick up, and that is Hunted by Megan Spooner, and I did read this month. I think I gave this 4 stars, but it could have been 3. So I think I'm at like a 3.5 on this. I don't really give half ratings because I'm kind of like an all or nothing sort of girl. Like, come on, it's either 3 or 4. But with this, I'm a bit on the fence for like the first time ever. And that's because I enjoyed it. It was fun to read. It was pleasurable when I was in it. I found it difficult to put down, and that was good. But for some reason, it took like half of the book for anything to happen. I felt like I was reading for ages before anything actually happened, but at the same time I was hooked enough to keep going. So I'm a bit conflicted on that because, as I say, I really enjoyed it and I couldn't put it down, but I felt like it took ages for anything to happen. So I don't know, but I did really enjoy it. I have filmed a book babble on this. It's not edited or uploaded currently, but it's filmed. So there will be one coming, keep your eyes peeled. So if you want more about this book, watch out for that. But pretty much it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling where the beauty, like the catchline on it is, a beauty deadlier than the beast. Beauty is hunter come hunted, and roles are all a bit twisted and stuff. And I enjoyed it. To a certain extent it was predictable because I feel like when you've heard so many Beauty and the Beast retellings, you've kind of heard them all. Like, you know what's going to happen because you know the traditional tale. And that definitely was present in here. But I really liked the medieval Russian twist that this had. And I've found that a fair few books that I've read recently have had like Russian folklore twists and I've been really enjoying them. So I think I need to look out for more Russian folklore inspired tales because I've been enjoying them a lot. But yeah, I liked this and as I say, it was either 3 or 4 stars, so let's just go with a 3.5. The next book that I read in June is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J Maas. As you probably know by now, me and Jess from Between the Lines are buddy reading the entire series. Last month we finished ACOTAR and started this, and we wrapped this up this month. It's a hefty book. I've still got my bookmark in there, but don't be fooled, I have finished it. It's a hefty book, it takes some time to get through, but I feel like me and Jess kind of flew through it because we had like our schedule of 3 chapters every night, and sometimes we would get so hooked that we would do like an extra 3 or an extra 1 here or there or something. So we got through it very quick, but I loved this as much the second time round as I did the first, possibly even more. There was just so much to notice, and I picked up on so many more things, and it was just so great to watch the relationships develop from the beginning again, and I love it so much, and obviously 5 stars. If you didn't know, I did my vlog type thing of my reread of ACOTAR. I did do the same thing for this, but again, it's filmed, but I haven't edited it or uploaded it yet. But it will be coming. It's a really long one, like I've got a lot of footage, so it's going to take me ages to edit, so I don't know when that will be coming to you, but it will be coming to you. I love this book. I love Reese. I love everything about Brilliant, and this again was to kind of help me get over that slump, because I'm not so much stuck there anymore. Like, my mind has definitely like been hooked on other things, but I just love this world so much, and I don't think I'll be able to let go of it properly for a long time. But that's not all, so we've done 3 books. I then finished 3 graphic novels as well, which are here. I did mention all of these in my June haul because I got them all in June and finished them all in June. So first up we have got Saga Volume 7, because Saga 7. If you haven't read Saga, I strongly suggest that you do. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, and a couple of people that have been recommended it by myself haven't enjoyed it anywhere near as much as I, and I feel like it's because they weren't expecting what they got. This graphic novel is very graphic. Not this one in particular, but Saga as a whole is very graphic. So if you're picking it up, don't be surprised by how graphic it is, okay? But I really enjoyed it. I wanted to put off reading it more than I did put off reading it, because obviously there's such a long time to wait for the next one, but I couldn't wait. I feel like I read this such a long time now that I can't really remember what happened and how it ended. Oh my god, I remember what happens in this one. Obviously I'm not going to talk about it because if you haven't read all 6, I don't want to spoil it, or all 7 even. If you haven't read them all, then I don't want to spoil it for you. But something heartbreaking happens in this one. But yeah, I loved it as expected because it's Saga and I love them all, so yeah. The next graphic novel I read is Lumberjanes Volume 4. I read this the day that it turned up in like half an hour because I really like Lumberjanes and it's really easy to read and it's just fun and light-hearted and nice. This one, I think, is a close favourite. After how Volume 3 went down, I was a bit like, disappointing. I need Volume 4 to see if this picks up again, because they changed the artist and the story was just not as great as it was before. I have done a review on Volume 3 on my Goodreads, and I think I have mentioned it in a wrap-up previously. But Volume 3 wasn't spectacular, so I needed Volume 4 to be something great. And Volume 4 was something great. I loved this. We got so many answers but questions, and all of the like mythical weirdness came back, and the magic and the kind of like, huh? moments. Like, I loved it. And there was introduction of some new creepy, weird, wonderful characters and more mythical legend stuff, and the girls were great as always, and I just really loved this one. And after Volume 3 I think they did a fantastic job with this one, and I think half of that comes down to the fact that they changed the artist back to Brooke Allen, who did the first 2 but she didn't do the 3rd one, and I feel like if she had done the 3rd one could have kind of been dragged back a bit, but the story of the 3rd one was also a bit meh. But this one was great. If you've hit Volume 3 in Lumberjanes and you think that's naff, Volume 4 is much better. So naturally it will come as no surprise that I then picked up Volume 5. And this one had a weird art style again. We went back to the same artist that did Volume 3, and I was most disappointed by that because I didn't enjoy Volume 3 because of the art style and the story. This one, however, I enjoyed the story, but the art style took something away from it, so I'm a bit conflicted. It was okay. It was good. Wasn't great. It wasn't like a volume 2 or a volume 4 because they're my favourites, but it was good. Not spectacular, but good. The mythical creatures and the magic and the wonder was still there, the adventure, the girls' relationships was great, like the story was still really good and really solid, but the art style I think let it down and just took something away that, you know, Brooke Allen just gives it that little something, and when it's not her as the main illustrator, that something is gone. But I still enjoyed it, and I am definitely going to pick up volume 6 and read volume 6 because I enjoyed the story and I am desperate to know what's going on in this Girl Scout camp because, like, what? That's everything that I read in June. So we've got 3 books and 3 graphic novels, which I think is really, really good for me. But that is not it, because I'm also in the middle of some things. So as well as going through the books that I have read, which is 3 books and 3 graphic novels, I also want to take you through my currently readings, just because I'm in the middle of them at the minute. So yeah. And the first book that I am reading, I'm reading very slowly. I think I'm not in the mood for it, which breaks my heart a little bit because it's taken me a while to like get into. I mean, at the minute I'm only 43 pages into this, which is really bad. Because I thought it would be the sort of book that I would devour in like a couple of sittings. But I think I'm just not in the mood for it, which sucks. But that is Born by Jeff Vandermeer. Jeff Vandermeer's writing style is very unique, very odd, and this stays true to that. I am enjoying it, like I'm loving not knowing things and kind of having these things explained to you in like this weird way that doesn't make sense, and I love it, and I love his writing style, but I just think at this current moment I'm not in the place for anything too heavy going. I mean, it's not heavy, it's not like an enormous book, but the writing style is sort of the sort of writing style that you have to read quite slowly, and I don't feel like I'm in the place for that at the minute, so I'm going at it slowly. Slowly but surely. But yeah, I'm in the middle of that. The next book that I'm in the middle of will also probably come as no surprise because I'm buddy reading it with Jess, and that is A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J Maas. We read ACOTAR last month, we read ACOMAF in June, and we're reading A Court of Wings and Ruin in July, so hopefully we will finish this month. I don't really doubt us because we do quite well with pacing, I think, but there you go, I'm in the middle of this with Jess, so that's a process that's currently happening. And then lastly is the book that I'm currently like most invested in, and that is Raw by Cora Carmack, and this was the book that we got in the June Fairy Loot, and when I opened that Fairy Loot I was a bit like, looks cheap, meh, but then when it was sitting on my shelf and I was thinking, what do I read next, it really jumped out at me, and I was like, I might not enjoy it though. I was like battling with myself like, there are other things on my shelf that I've been looking forward to for such a long time, but this one was just like, read me, read me, read me, read me. So I started reading it, and I'm really, really enjoying it a lot. I feel guilty for judging this book harshly just for its cover, because now I like the cover, like my opinion's changed. I really do like the cover now, and I mean the book is white and it has got kind of filthy from being in my bag, but I'm totally into this, like totally. I'm loving it, and I can imagine I'll probably finish it within the next few days, maybe. I'll definitely finish it this week. I'll tell you more about that when I finish it, because I'll probably do a babble because I feel like I've got things to say. There you go! I've read 3 books, I've read 3 graphic novels, and I'm in the middle of 3 books. I'm doing everything in 3s this month. There we have it. That is my reading month of June. I'm gonna not set a TBR. See how that goes. I feel like I haven't stuck to my TBR to... Oh, have I? Oh, the only thing from my TBR that I haven't read is The Raven King. I really need to get to The Raven King. Maybe I'll just say July will be the month for The Raven King, and I won't set a TBR for anything else. Yay! So there we go. If you have enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up, chat to me down in the comments, tell me what you read in June, tell me what you're going to be reading in July, tell me stuff about books. Have you read the books that I've read? Are you reading the books that I've read? You know how it goes, chat to me down there. Yeah, thumbs up, chat to me down there. If you aren't subscribed and fancy subscribing, I'm always eternally grateful for that. I upload every Sunday and Wednesday and some odd days in between if I'm feeling generous, and I will see you next time. Bye!